It's a Longbox.
I am not going to do this particular movie and this thing that I'm going to have on my Longbox justice. You have to go see it. But I will do my best.
So, I mean, if you do want to see it, you should probably...
What are you doing?
Pizza time.
Oh, yeah. Well, kind of.
I don't care if you spoil it for me, though.
Well, yeah.
It's fine.
So I watched the movie Poor Things. On Sunday night, I happened to catch. One thing on Sunday night for like best actor, best actress, what they did was they had like 5 nominees, right? So then they had 5 other actors giving like a speech to that actor who was nominated. Like Forrest Whitaker did Coleman Domingo. Sally Field did Emma Stone. Do you know what I mean? So like they each like, okay, Emma, your performance in da-da-da was so amazing, and you know, she gave us, you know, each. I really liked how they did that instead of the way that they've done it previously, which somebody reads, you know, 5 names or whatever. I liked that. That was cool. But I saw her thing, and I had kind of known about the movie, and I remember when it was out in theaters or whatever when it first came out, and how odd it looked, how odd Emma Stone looked. Because she has really black hair, you know, and she's generally fair-haired in most projects and whatnot.
Big bushy eyebrows.
Yeah, you know, I mean, just not, you know. But I didn't know anything about the movie. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't even watch a trailer. In fact, when I watched it on Hulu, I have the lowest tier, the ads, and they happened to have a trailer for the movie I was about to watch.
Nice. Wow.
But I had it on mute. I didn't want to have anything spoil whatever.
Nice.
Yeah. I didn't want to have.
You get so mad when I use my drops.
No, it's true. It's true. You're right. It was nice. But no, I'm glad. You know. Well, I don't generally use drops during your shit, you fucker. Go ahead.
What?
Yeah. So I decided to watch Poor Things.
I'll fucking hit a sound right now.
Don't do it. And first thing you need to know is, spoiler. It's Willem Dafoe plays a scientist who. It starts off in this woman commits suicide by jumping off a bridge, and that's all you know about it. And then the next time you see her, she has the mind of a child. At one point, the guy who eventually marries her in the end of the movie says, "Wow, what a very beautiful retard," which is what they said in those times.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but that's how he describes her. To, you know, he just blurts it out, whatever. And then through trial and error, the doctor, magnificent makeup on Willem Dafoe, and it's fucking Willem Dafoe, dude. It's awesome. Okay, it's just, you learn throughout the movie that his father was a Nazi doctor. Like, he branded his son's testicles. Like, all of the things that are wrong with Willem Dafoe's character are because of things his father did to him when he was younger.
Yeah.
As experiments. So, thusly, he is, you know, all about science and not about feelings or whatever, but he allows himself to have feelings for Bella as a daughter, right? And her name is Bella. And throughout the movie, you start to understand what is going on. At first, he says that she committed suicide and he reanimated her before she had completely died. And so she had basically memory loss, like complete memory loss, even to the point of like not knowing motor skills and speech. So that's what the explanation was. Then it's learned through a flashback that the woman who committed suicide was pregnant. So he took the dead brain out of the woman's head but the baby was alive, and put the baby's brain in the woman. Yes.
Okay.
It's a fantasy movie.
Yeah.
It's fantastical. It's based on a book.
It's like It's like Lady Frankenstein, pretty much.
It's
like in a rough way.
here's all I got.
And it's based on a book. And
Right.
it's,
Before I continue this, I need to let you know, when you watch this, I watched this with complete eyes open and no judgments. I literally said to myself, no matter what comes on this screen to me about this movie, I'm going to accept it before I judge it.
Yeah.
I will judge this movie afterwards. I need to give this movie what it needs to give me. That's how you want to view art. That's how I want to view art, right?
Yeah.
I want to
You don't want to go into something hating it.
right, like I did with Black Adam, for Christ's
And if you
sakes,
do-
which is not,
if
by
you
the
do-
way,
if you
Black
do-
Adam is not fucking art, okay?
And if you do
But-
feel that way, you shouldn't engage with it.
Right. I wanted to see it, and I knew
You
like
can't enjoy something with an open mind.
I knew that it would be something that was going to be out of my wheelhouse, but something that I might enjoy. Anyway, so it moves along at a pace, and there's years in between all of these things, but eventually, she reaches adolescence,
yeah.
the brain or whatever. And at this point, you're not even thinking that it's a baby's brain. Like, somebody earlier mentioned that.
Yeah.
It's not like that. You don't think like that. You know what I mean? It's not like you see like her like having trouble with motor skills and somebody's fucking her. It's not like that. I'm serious. I mean, but just anyway. But it's just a great movie. Like it's so fantastical. Like Willem Dafoe, when he eats, his character, you have to hook him up to this whole thing, and he burps out this giant bubble of shit, and then it pops, and he has no gastrointestinal juices, but it's so, he explains it. I don't even do it justice, like I said, but it's so matter of fact in the movie.
Yeah.
Like the first time you see it, she's all like "Papa," whatever.
Yeah.
And then like later on, like throughout the movie, they show him having dinner at various times, and he'll do it every time, and nobody says anything, and it's just a normal. He sets his utensils down, unhooks himself, and they go about their business. Like it's shit like that, right? There's like trams like hundreds of feet above the air in Lisbon, Portugal at this time. There's no real like what time is it in history, right? It's ostensibly older, like in the past, but there's so many futuristic things too. The point is, she starts reaching adolescence and learns how to masturbate.
Yeah.
Like we all do.
Yeah.
And the story becomes throughout. I don't want to go any farther than that. Okay. I've already given away too much about Willem Dafoe, because that's just something you need to experience by watching it. It's fucking crazy. I don't want to go any further than that, other than to say that this movie is ultimately a story about a woman finding herself and her independence, and in a world much like our own, almost paralleled ours, that tries to do everything it can to beat that out of women.
Yeah.
This society that we live in right now, the one that we actually live in, does not cater to women very much. And to see a woman take control of herself,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a fantastical story. I mean, she is her daughter. I mean, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But to see a woman take charge and so matter-of-factly do it, and the way the movie ends, and it becomes this movie about so much more than just this person, just this story. It becomes I can't do it justice. I just think that there's, do you remember when I went to that author after party thing, and it was like, I was like there was like 4 guys and like 100 women.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of things said that, probably I wouldn't hear in a group of guys, right?
Yeah.
I think it's really, really, really important for a lot of men to go out and seek these types of experiences, like watching a movie like Poor Things, like going to this after party.
We need more female,
because you're getting
voices.
you're getting a perspective that you don't understand. There's very much the thought in the movie that many men try to control the sexuality of women, and it's true. I think we've all done it. I know in my mind,
right?
the
whole
it's
Roe v. Wade thing. I mean,
Well, I mean, or even like lately, there's a big thing online with body counts. You know what that is?
oh yeah.
Right. Okay. Look,
Who
man.
cares?
At one point in my life, that did bother me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But
sure,
that was a long
but
time
maturity
ago.
is understanding that shit is
Exactly.
silly. And
Yes.
who cares?
Anything that happened before I
None
met
of that
person,
matters. None of that matters.
Right.
You're with
Exactly.
them now. That doesn't matter.
There's a lot of those themes about that.
Yeah.
And it makes you think. It makes you even look at your own self and just go, wow, like just need to change just various things. Even if you are like pretty pro-feminist like I am, there's still a lot of things that you can still learn. And that's my message to everybody is that just you need to get a different perspective. Just because it didn't happen to you or because you can't experience it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And we all need to understand that.
Yeah,
more.
and it's also a good.
I don't
good
doubt
thing.
that you're offended by binary characters in comics, but I'm not worried about those people being offended or whatever. I'm worried about people who are actually vulnerable, like friends of mine who are transgender and are getting hurt by that stuff. So. And female friends of mine who are also being hurt by the policies in our state and in our country. So yeah, Roe v. Wade is a big one. But yeah, thank you for my TED Talk. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.